What's up YouTube, back with another video, and today we're going to go over 6 plays in the 76ers playbook. So let's get into it. So the first play is the quick 2 Carolina leak. You can call this for JJ Redick or Jimmy Butler, and this play will get you 2 opportunities for a corner 3. So right here we're calling it for Redick, and Ben Simmons is going to start with the ball on the wing, then you're going to swing the ball to the opposite wing, and then Redick is going to set a screen for Chandler, then Embiid is going to set a screen for Redick, and Redick is going to run to the corner and get open for a 3. And when you see him running to the corner and you don't think he's going to be open, pass the ball back to Simmons at the top, and then Redick is going to run baseline through 2 screens and run to the opposite corner and get open for a 3 over there. So this play is pretty good because you get 2 corner 3 opportunities, which you don't really see very often, and this play could be useful against other people because you could run it and then you might get a shot or 2 using that first corner 3, but then eventually they'll catch on and try to like steal the pass or try to read the play. So just pass it to Simmons and then have Redick run baseline to the other corner, and then they won't have no idea what hit him. Next we have the punch 35 rip. You're gonna call this for Embiid, but Redick is gonna be the one to get the shot. So Simmons is gonna start with the ball on the wing and Redick is gonna be in the corner. Embiid is gonna come set a pick for Simmons, then Redick is gonna get 2 screens and run baseline to the opposite corner, and he'll be open for a 3. This is one of those tricky distraction plays, and I see it being useful against another person because once you initiate that pick and roll with Simmons and Embiid, they're going to be focused on stopping that, and JJ Redick is just going to sneak by and get wide open for corner 3. Next we have the quick loop 5 rip. You're going to call this for Embiid, but Redick or Butler is going to end up scoring on this one most of the time. So Simmons is going to start with the ball at the top and Butler's going to start on the left wing. Then Butler's going to run to the opposite wing through 2 screens, and a lot of the times he'll be open for a 3. If he's not open, just hold the ball and Embiid and Chandler will set a double screen for JJ Redick, and then Redick is gonna come up to the top of the key and he'll be open for a 3. And if he's not open, the play ends in a pick and fade with Chandler, so you could create a shot off that potentially as well. I like this play a lot. It reminds me of the punch loop 25, and I see myself using this play a lot. And also notice that when you pass it to Redick, you get a lot of space to drive, but that's not really his game and that's not really what he does. So if you're running this with another team, or you run this in my team and you have someone who can shoot and drive, this play becomes even better. Next we have the quick 2 fist 71. You can call this for a Butler or a Redick, and you'll end up getting a corner 3 or a layup. So right here I call it for Redick, and Ben Simmons is going to start with the ball on the left wing. Then he's going to get a double pick from Chandler and Embiid and drive to the rim. But then on the other side of the court, Jimmy Butler is going to set a screen for Redick, and Redick is going to run to the corner, and sometimes he'll be open for a 3. And if you think that Redick won't be open, just keep the ball with Simmons and you can drive to all the way to the rim with Simmons, or you could hit Embiid on a roll. So I went over this play before in the Raptors playbook before they updated it, and I like this play, but I remember using it. I used to try to get that 3 most of the time, and sometimes he'll be open, sometimes he won't, just because with the improved defense, the defenders seem to get over those single screens, and plus Jimmy Butler is not like a real big person and he's not like a screen setter or anything, so the defense usually gets around that. So I noticed that you probably score with whoever the center is rolling just as much, if not more, than the corner 3. Next we have the give 15 horns dive. You're gonna call this for Simmons, and it's designed for him to get a layup. So Simmons is gonna start with the ball at the top and he's gonna pass it to Embiid on the elbow. Then he's gonna run around Embiid and cut to the rim, and from there you can throw a regular pass, but it's more likely to get stolen. So since Simmons is 6'10", you can sneak in a few lobs because the guard is usually way smaller than him and Simmons is pretty athletic, but lobs are pretty inconsistent and they'll work sometimes, but even there are times where he'll be wide open and he'll just miss the ball. So what I do is when Simmons lines up with Embiid, I hold Y, or if you're on PlayStation, triangle, and have him cut to the rim, and it seems like he takes a tighter angle to the rim, and he also moves faster when you do that, so he'll be wide open for a dunk a lot of the times. So this play is pretty good, especially if you want to get Ben Simmons involved in the offense. since he can't shoot, he's pretty limited, and when he's off the ball, no one's really worried about him because he's not spacing the floor. But this play, it gives you really good spacing, so when he does cut, he'll be wide open, and he's pretty athletic, and he will dunk on pretty much any smaller guard in the game. And even if he's not wide open, you could just dump it down to him and turn it into like a little post up and have him abuse other smaller point guards. And the last play is the give 51 side. You're gonna call this for Simmons, and you'll get an opportunity for a dunk or a 3-pointer. So this play is pretty similar to the last play, and Simmons is gonna start with the ball at the top, and then he's gonna pass it to Embiid, but this time Embiid is gonna be almost at the 3-point line. And the play is designed for Ben Simmons to just go into the corner, but once Simmons kind of lines up with Embiid, you can hold wide or triangle and have Simmons cut to the rim, and he'll be wide open for a dunk. And I also noticed that for this play is better if you face up when you tell Simmons to cut, because if you have your back to them, to the defender, he will normally back up and the pass will get stolen a lot of the times. So like the last play, you could do either or. You could face up or put your back to him and he'll still like guard you close. But with this play, if you put your back to him, he'll just back up a little bit, and so he'll steal the pass. And so if you face up, he'll guard you closer, and if he doesn't, you could shoot with Embiid, because Embiid can shoot a little bit. So that's just something that I noticed. And if you pass the ball to Embiid and you just keep the ball on the other side of the court, Jimmy Butler sets a screen for Redick, and Redick is going to come up to the wing, and sometimes he'll be open for a 3. Also, I don't think I mentioned this before, but when you hold Y or triangle to cut someone to the rim, they will eventually throw the pass even if they're not open. No matter how long you hold the button, at some point they will throw it. So if you see that they're not open, you could double tap the icon pass button, which is RB or R1, and then they'll just keep the ball and they won't pass it, so you won't get a turnover. So all in all, I like this playbook. I think it's pretty good. It's a little something for everybody. You got a good mix of 3-pointers, cuts, a little bit of pick and roll action, and you can really get everybody involved. So that's the end of the video. I hope this was helpful. If you're interested in other videos like this, I'll put the playlist on the screen. Also, my last video, I went over the updated Raptors playbook, and I'll put those videos on the screen too, because there's 2 parts. And thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more content.